I'm Tom from Champion Helmets and I'll be guiding you through everything you need to know about this helmet. The i-91 is a modular helmet and this type is unique because they're equipped with a flip-up mechanism and generally also have an integrated sun visor and preparations for a communication system. It's available in sizes XS to 2XL. And what size would you need? Well, grab a tape cloth and measure the circumference of your head starting at an inch above the eyebrows. Then take a look at the specific sizing chart and see what size fits you best. There's much more to discuss, so let's get into it. The i-91 has a micromatic closure and a recommended retail price of €250. Let's start with our material segment. Here, we'll be using our material matrix to look at two things. First, we look at the material the outer shell is made of, and then second, we check the amount of outer shell sizes the i-91 is available in. And the more the better, as more shell sizes will make the outer shell more compact, regardless of the size you choose. Now, let's look at the results. The i-91 earns 3 stars for being available in 3 outer shell sizes and for being made of polycarbonate. This material is very common among entry-level helmets. And why is that? Well, this material is relatively inexpensive to make helmets with compared to fiberglass and carbon fiber. And keep in mind that every helmet has to pass the same safety requirements. But polycarbonate helmets usually need a bit more material, making them a slightly bit heavier. Anyways, that's it for material. Let's continue to our weight segment to see how the polycarbonate outer shell affects the weight of the i-91. Alright, we use a scale that is accurate to the gram to weigh our helmets. And to make the competition fair, every helmet is weighed on the same scale in a size M, without any additional features installed. Finally, we use our weight matrix to determine star scores. Let's look at the results. When we weighed the i-91, our scale indicated a weight of 1827 grams, which is heavy even for a polycarbonate helmet. It earns 1.5 stars and this result is definitely something to keep in mind if you prefer lightweight helmets. We've arrived at our visor segment and we'll be using our visor matrix that includes many different visor features and characteristics to judge the i-91. And naturally, not every feature is equally as impactful on your riding experience, and that's why we've weighed them based on what riders ask us about the most. First off, the i-91 comes alongside a pinlock lens in the box, which is important to have, and it also has an integrated sun visor and a wide field of vision. However, the i-91 has a very weak visor mechanism that can't keep the visor up and it falls down as soon as you try to lift it. And with this, it'll be difficult to ride with the visor slightly opened. Nonetheless, the i-91 earns 3.5 stars for its sun visor, pinlock in the box and wide field of vision. Let's move on to our first road test segment. It's time to take the i-91 out on the road and find out to what extent it's able to isolate the outside noise. And our testing method is as follows. We've placed a decibel meter inside the helmet close to our test rider's ear and this records the sound the same way as he hears it. We take our measurements from long stretches of open highway, riding an average of 130 km per hour. And finally, we run the results through our noise isolation matrix to determine star scores. Let's see how the i-91 performed on the road. During our testing, the i-91 had an average measurement of 105 decibels, which makes it a pretty loud helmet and earplugs are definitely recommended. It earns 2 stars for noise isolation, but let's see how it performs in our other road test segment, ventilation. Here, we measure to what extent the i-91 is able to keep your head cool out on the road, and we measure this by placing a sensor inside the helmet, keeping track of the inside temperature at all times. At the same time, we keep track of the outside temperature and compare the two. Finally, we use our ventilation matrix to determine star scores. The smaller the difference, the more stars it earns. And before we look at the results, let's look at the vents of the i-91. In typical HJC fashion, the i-91 has fewer but very large air intakes and the first one is at the top of the shell, funneling cool air into the helmet, and the second one is on the chin and both of them are adjustable. In turn, warm air flows out through the exhaust on the back of the helmet. Now, let's see how it performed on the road. During our testing, the i-91 had a temperature difference of plus half a degree Celsius, which means that the inside of the helmet was only half a degree warmer than the outside temperature, so the i-91 is perfectly capable of keeping your head cool and earns an impressive 4 stars on the spot. Let's continue to comfort. Alright, we've tested the i-91 on multiple performance-related criteria, but how comfortable is it to wear? That's exactly what we'll be discussing here. But this segment can be somewhat of a challenge for us because it's difficult to translate the comfort of a helmet into concrete numbers. That's why we'll be partially relying on the more than 17 years of riding experience of our test rider. He's also tested all the other helmets on this channel and can therefore make a comparison like no other. Of course, we'll also be looking at the comfort features of the i-91, so let's look at what it has to offer. First off, the i-91 has an intermediate oval shape and the padding is completely removable, washable, and it has quick dry properties. The i-91 also has a chin curtain that will help to reduce the wind noise inside the helmet. However, our test rider wasn't that impressed with this helmet. It's pretty comfortable to wear, but nothing about the liner or the overall feel of the helmet makes it stand out in this price range. All in all, the i-91 earns 2.5 stars on comfort. Let's continue to our final segment, features. Here, we'll be using our features matrix to judge all the bells and whistles the i-91 is equipped with. Again, not every feature is equally as impactful on your riding experience, and that's why we've weighted them based on what riders ask us about the most. Let's get started. The i-91 is fully prepared for HJC's 11B, 21B and 50B communication systems, complete with slots and speaker pockets to conceal the entire system inside the shell. Additionally, the flip-up mechanism of the i-91 is easy to use, it's glasses friendly and PJ certified. Ultimately, the i-91 is equipped with the essentials you're looking for in a modular helmet that earns a solid 3 stars. Let's close off with our final conclusion. Alright, let's briefly summarize the results of the i-91. It had a great starter material, where it earned 3 stars for its polycarbonate outer shell and 3 outer shell sizes. However, this outer shell didn't help it much in our weight segment, where it earned 1.5 stars for weighing in at 1827 grams. After weight came our visor segment, where the i-91 had a solid performance despite a very weak visor mechanism, but it still earned 3.5 stars due to its integrated sun visor, pin lock in the box and wide field of vision. In our first road test segment, noise isolation, the i-91 only earned 2 stars for having an average measurement of 105 decibels. However, it performed much better in our ventilation segment, where it earned an impressive 4 stars for being only half a degree hotter inside compared to the outside temperature. In our final 2 segments, the i-91 earned 2.5 stars on comfort and 3 stars on features for having a PJ certification, extensive communication system preparations and a great flip-up mechanism. All in all, the i-91 earned an average of 2.8 stars, for which you pay 13 euros per star, which is a decent value for money ratio. So, what did we learn? The i-91 is a good entry-level helmet, but our testing did expose some serious flaws that will make it a no-go for some riders. Specifically, its weight and visor mechanism can be pretty annoying to deal with. Aside from that, it matches or exceeds expectations in this price range. And with that, our review comes to an end. Of course, we're curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you perfectly fine wearing a heavy helmet, or do you specifically look for lightweight ones? Whatever it may be, you can find the i-91 on championhelmets.com, where we have the lowest price guaranteed and very sharp discount bundles. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in your feed. Guys, buy smart and ride safe. Until next time.